Hey you guys, it is Jim Warrior here, and this is week 3 of the YouTube Pagan Challenge. I am holding the camera right now, so it's probably going to be pretty shaky, because I have a lot of things I kind of want to show you. This week's video is all about like sacred space and shrines and altars, and if you have any, and yes I do. I'm very fortunate that a place I moved into just a few months ago was a lot bigger than what I had been living in for the past 6 years. I lived in a very, very, very tiny one-bedroom apartment, and now I'm very, very fortunate to live in a much bigger space with a whole extra room devoted just to my magic. I'm very grateful for that. I didn't feel like I needed it so much as I just really wanted it. The opportunity arose and I thought, yes, entire room devoted to magic. Yeah, this is my main working altar. I've never even taken a photo of it before. It's never been on camera. This is its first time. I've always been kind of apprehensive to show my personal space because it is so personal to me. But I'm doing it, almost on a whim, actually. So, yes, it changes a lot, and of course gems. I love gems, and these are actually plastic gems, just plastic. But if you watched another video that I did on urban paganism, you'll know that I try to work with plastic a lot in my practice, and a lot of like man-made, inorganic actually, materials. You know, just because. Just because. Watch that video, I guess, and you'll realize more why. But yes, these are actually real gems, obviously, that were gifted to me, because I also said in another video that I don't really work with physical gems that much. So these are really here just for my visual stimulation and to kind of serve as mental triggers for me. This is fake grass, actually. This is plastic. I have heart stuff out, yes, because it is close to Valentine's, but also I keep this here year round. This is a constant. So is this. This is my chalice, which is also plastic. Very cheap. And it is filled with fake jewels as well. Fake diamonds. Which holds a really big significance for me, which I talked about in another video as well. So if you've seen any of my other videos, a lot of this should be making sense now. I have some heart-shaped jewels here. Valentine's Day is my absolute favorite holiday. These are like conjoined twins. But Valentine's Day is my favorite holiday, so when it gets close, I really do start to get kind of crazy. Yeah, just fake gems, because, you know, I love gems. Fake flowers. I have no problem working with plastic. It's magical to me. It does have magical properties to me. I love plastic. This was a mirror, but the mirror fell out, and so now I use it as like an altar piece. This is a incense burner from a very dear friend of mine. Very dear friend. Pagan leader in our community. And this is just a little plastic beaver and a plastic fox, because those are two animals that I really love. This is just on an old entertainment center that my family has had since I was below the age of 10. So, it has a lot of significance and energy in it. Familiar energy. Familiar and familial. I like it. I like it. Again, not a lot of natural materials in my altar. I'm just a very urban magician. Up here I have a little spell center. This changes depending on the spells that I'm really casting. Right now I'm working a lot with luck, and I got this candle. I love this. Scented Alleged Lucky Flame candle with all these symbols around it, which I find this hilarious. But, yeah, so I got my cinnamon sticks and some bay leaves and things, some rabbit fur. This is a painting of a fox, which is my main spirit animal that a really good friend of mine did for me on a whim, and my cats have tried to destroy it. Wonder Woman, plastic statue of her, because I also talked about in, I think, my video on urban magic that I work with pop culture deities. Wonder Woman, obviously being a symbol of the goddess to me. These are cards from a deck that I have called the Goddess Oracle by, I think, Doreen Virtue. I love them. These are all about goddesses of love, because right now I'm really working with self-love like I do every time around Valentine's Day. I use Valentine's Day as a month of self-love, to appreciate the self. You know, people get caught up in Valentine's Day about how it's about loving another person and having a Valentine and giving someone presents. Turn all that on yourself, you know? This is a painting I did of my hand. Some stones and things. Another stone from like the river here. A foxtail that is real, actually, and a real rabbit fur. Oh, this is not a sari. I forget the term. Oof. But this is actually a real Indian garment for women to wear. And I have it kind of snaked around my center. A lot of books on the floor, because I love books. A Buddhist shrine, when I studied Nichiren Buddhism and incorporated some of it into my paganism. That would be a whole nother video of itself for me to explain. A little cauldron I have for Vivian, one of my goddesses that I've talked about before, I think, that I work with, or spirit guides. I consider her a goddess. I also consider her to be the Lady of the Lake. This underneath here is where I store things. Like there's my oracle decks, the Wisdom of Avalon, and yes, it is Doreen Virtue. The Goddess Oracle, or Goddess Guidance. This is a little stone. This is actually all made out of rock. Little cabinet where I can keep herbs and things. Here's some herbs and liquids that I've made that I work with, except the glitter obviously did not make that. A whole bunch of tea lights. I really like tea lights because I use them as like mini spell cauldrons, you know? Like I'll burn these and then throw in little herbs right into the tea light to use as I need. There's all kinds of things back up in here, you guys. All kinds of things that are waiting for me. Look at that. Wax. Wax everywhere. Wands and things and just stuff. Just stuff, you guys. Stuff's kept in there. Stuff's back there. There's my Ogum set, which I will do a video on very soon, you guys. Ogum is my preferred and main divination method. This is a box of makeup in a shoebox. Just a lot of different makeup, because if you saw a video I did on pain, I love makeup. It makes me feel like a pretty princess. And yeah, you guys, there's just kinds of stuff in here. That's my current book of shadows. Nothing fancy, just a composition notebook that I cut out pictures of and stickers and put on. Nothing fancy, you guys. Nothing fancy at all. Here's some books I have that are all magically related. More and more books in my house. Yeah, you guys, 2 staffs that I have that I enjoy working with. Now these are also real, a real raven's feather that a very dear friend got for me, from his farm, and a foxtail, which was obtained ethically. Yeah, yoga mat, which I actually use for Qigong, not yoga. Oh, you guys, this is really dear to me. This is my first magical item I ever bought. I actually wound up putting gold, I don't know if you can see that, gold lipstick, there you go, along the vagina, or like, you know, the swirl, the spiral of this goddess. And for forever, you guys, just to show that you don't need a fancy altar, all I had was this and some tea light candles, you guys, for like a year. That was my altar. This chest, I keep like my cloak, some shirts that are magical, old books of shadows and mirrors, etc. terms, grimoires, painting stuff, because I love to paint. That's my cat, Miko. Miko, say hey. More painting stuff. I love to paint, you guys. It's very spiritual for me. There's one of my paintings, actually. Speak my raging pain. Abuse and abandon. Me. They're not fancy, obviously. I don't profess to be an artist in any way. I just kind of like to slobber my feelings all over a piece of paper. But yeah, you guys. Filing cabinet. That's actually not mine. That's my boyfriend's, but he keeps it in here. I allow it. Again, you know, I got this for Christmas, actually. I thought this was very spiritual because I love Wonder Woman. She looks so strong here, like a warrior from the flames. Yeah, it doesn't have to be anything fancy, but I think that sacred space is really important. And you know, sacred space is what you make it, definitely. Sacred space is, oh gosh, it's definitely what you make it. It can be anywhere, any place, anytime. Everywhere on this planet can be a sacred space, you guys. It doesn't have to be fancy. I don't always do magic in here. Sometimes I do it downstairs in our living room. Sometimes I do it in the kitchen. Actually, maybe I'll show you a few little bitty altars that I have around the house that some of them don't even look like altars, which is great for guests who might not be pagan friendly. Yeah, perhaps I'll show you those. Okay, you guys, like, here is an altar at my computer desk, and at first glance you might be like, that's just some candles with some dirt in it. How is that an altar and some stars made out of plastic again? I love plastic. I love plastic for magic. But these actually have a special mix of herbs in them that I just put at the base of the candle and burned. And this has a meaning to me too, this candle. But yeah, so that I can do my cyber magic and travel into the cyber realm. Actually, I think I might put this in the bathroom altar that I'm about to show you. Okay, you guys, now we are in a little bathroom. We have 3 bathrooms here. This is our smallest one. It's our guest one also. But it's very tiny, and if it sounds weird in here, I apologize. But I'll try to make this brief. But I have a mermaid statuette that I found, and I think it's gorgeous. Who doesn't love mermaids? As a child, I wanted to be one so badly. Oh my god, I love mermaids. I could make a video about mermaids. And you know what? Maybe I will. I love them. You know, tons of goddesses have been represented as mermaids. You can take this as what you want. Here's the candle I just had that I moved down here. It used to have like sprawling vines and ivy and plants on it. And this color is perfect because when I got this candle, I consecrated it to my goddess Vivian again, the Lady of the Lake, and it was just perfect because I see her with this color, blue-ish green, all the time. I had like 2 of these. I still have the label on them actually, and they were just perfect. This is a little orb, a glass one that I can't remember if my sister or my mother got me this years ago now, 7 or something, 8 years ago, but. It has, you know, sand and things from the ocean in it. And there's actually a pink stone in here that I enjoy trying to find because it disappears and reappears. And I'm like, where did you go, pink stone? There's a little monkey from like a 25-cent vending machine doing a handstand. And that makes me think of my boyfriend because he's so playful, so in touch with his inner child. And that's just a great reminder, you know, and it reminds me of him. On the toilet, we have a little bird given to me by a friend who is very birdy. Her energy is so bird-like. So that reminds me of her. A little plastic mermaid again, plastic. In a little clamshell, tea light holder. And a little mermaid poster, for oysters. Yeah, you guys, I'm sorry, I just like tapping things. I watch too many ASMR videos. Yeah, you guys, your space doesn't have to be huge for it to be sacred. It can be whatever you want. I'll show you the kitchen little altar that does not look like an altar right now, actually. Okay, here is our kitchen altar, which does not look like an altar, I don't think, right? This is, I named him Samuel, a little walrus that I have. I work with animals a lot in my practice. This is actually our salt and pepper shaker. 2 peas in a pod. Got that online. This is very magical for me. If you've watched my other videos, you know I love hoodoo. And hoodoo taught me in the beginning, before I knew about salt and all that as being like something to ward off things and to cleanse things, I used pepper. Because that is very, very popular in Afro-Caribbean traditions. And so I have a little baby, you guys. Can you see how little this is? Like, look how little that is. Little Tabasco and some dried peppers to ward off evil stuff. This is actually a shaker, but there's a fox because that's my animal. Again, love plastic, you guys, and I love pop culture. I'm sure you've heard of the superhero, the Green Lantern. Well, in the comic books, there are lanterns for every single color. And this is the blue lantern, which represents hope. And that's their ring. Just a little plastic replica ring. So this is hope. To always remain hopeful, because sometimes I can get pretty hopeless. And so this is a reminder for me to stay hopeful. And a little treasure chest that came on a birthday cake of mine. That was Aquaman. An Aquaman cake. And it keeps a key in it, which actually is a replacement key for something that we have here. But also, I love the idea of keys and spirituality, and, you know, having, like, that my spirituality is the key to my happiness and my success. And then a bunch of hearts, because, again, Valentine's Day, but also because I'm all about love, and I love hearts. And I specifically got these because they were rainbow hearts, and I'm gay, and, you know, love yourself, love your sexuality, because we're told not to. And there's a weird stain here. What is that? Ugh. Anyway, yeah, that does not look like an altar to anyone, I think, who doesn't know that it is an altar. So, really good ways to have an incognito altar, you guys. Okay, one last thing I just wanted to show you guys here in our living room. I have this picture, it's Asian harmony, and then I have some other Asian calligraphy with different meanings, like love and happiness and tranquility. But then a friend of mine made me these ogum. Love her. Very, very close friend. Consider her a sister. Actually, really, at this point, I mean, Jesus, we've been through everything. We've known each other since elementary school. And, you know, they mean different things. I love it. I love it. And, you know, including things like this, I think, in every part of your room, or in every room of your house, makes them that much more sacred, I think, you know? Makes them a sacred space and a sacred place. And allows, I think, for you mentally, at least, and energetically, to make every part of your home a magical place, to have truly a magical household, and to be able to do magic in every room comfortably, at least for me. But yeah, you guys, this is my video on this week's challenge, and I really hope you enjoyed it. And remember, you guys, seriously, magic can happen anytime, any place, anywhere, in any space. Okay, you guys, ciao.